Come to the second video of the bantamweight division of the boxing title history. So we're going to go from Harry Dade beating Manuel Ortiz, and then we got March the 11th, 1947. Manuel Ortiz wins on points, gets his revenge against Harry Dade. 15 rounds points decision win for Ortiz, Manuel Ortiz from Puerto Rico. That's in Los Angeles. And then we got December the 20th, 1947. Manuel Ortiz wins on points over 15 rounds against Huey Kong Yong from Hawaii, in Honolulu, Hawaii. He gets beaten on points by Ortiz. And then May the 30th, 1947. Oh no, we've done that one. December the 20th, 1947. Manuel Ortiz wins on points over 15 rounds against Terso del Rosario from the Philippines, in Manila, Philippines. And then July the 4th, 1948. Manuel Ortiz wins in the 8th round. Referee stopping the match against Memo Valero from Mexico, in Mexicali, Mexico. Then you got March the 1st, 1949. Manuel Ortiz wins on points over 15 rounds against Dado Moreno from Hawaii. That was also in Honolulu. Two guys he beat from Hawaii there on points. Yes, so March 31st, 1950, Vic Tawau from South Africa. You see a picture of him there. Vic Tawau from South Africa wins on points over 15 rounds against Manuel Ortiz in Johannesburg, South Africa. December the 2nd, 1950, Vic Tawau wins in the 10th round by retirement against Danny O'Sullivan from England. And that was in the 10th round, Johannesburg, South Africa, November the 17th, 1951. Vic Tawau from South Africa wins on points over 15 rounds against Luis Romero from Spain, in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then January 26th, 1952, Vic Tawau wins on points over 15 rounds against Peter Keenan from Scotland, in Johannesburg, South Africa. November the 15th, 1952, Jimmy Carruthers from Australia wins by KO against Vic Tawau, in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then March the 21st, 1953, Jimmy Carruthers wins by KO in the 10th round against Vic Tawau from South Africa, in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then November the 13th, 1953, Jimmy Carruthers wins on points over 15 rounds against Henry Pappy Galt from the US, in Sydney, Australia. Then May the 2nd, 1954, Jimmy Carruthers wins on points against Chamron Songkitrak. Chamron Songkitrak from Thailand. And he beats him over 15 rounds points decision, Jimmy Carruthers, in Bangkok, Thailand. And then we got September the 18th, 1954. Robert Cohen from Algeria wins on points over 15 rounds against Chamron Songkitrak from that was from Thailand, and that was in Bangkok, Thailand, for the vacant title. Vacant undisputed title. Then January 1955, the NBA stripped Cohen. Because of his failure to defend against Raton Marcius. So we've got the New York title, so it's a bit of a mixture. Again, quite confusing, the bantam division. There's quite a lot of different ones, but hey, so September the 3rd, 1955, Robert Cohen draws over 15 rounds with Willie Towell from South Africa. This is in Johannesburg, South Africa. And then June 29th, 1956, Mario Di Agata from Italy wins by retirement in the 6th round against Robert Cohen in Rome, Italy. Then April 1st, 1957, Alphonse Halimi from France wins on points over 15 rounds against Marcio Di Agata. That was in Paris, France. And then November 6th, 1957, Alphonse Halimi from France wins on points over 15 rounds against Raton Macias from Mexico in Los Angeles for the undisputed title. Now we got just the NBA title. So, May the 6th, 1955, Raton Macias wins by KO in 11th round against Chamron Songit Tract from Thailand in San Francisco. So, March the 25th, 1956, Raton Macias, or Macias from Mexico, wins in the 10th round against Leo Espinosa from the Philippines in Mexico City, Mexico. Then June 15th, 1957, Raton Macias from Mexico wins in the 11th round. Referee stops the fight against Domi Ursua from Philippines. Referee stops the match in the 11th round. San Francisco. November the 6th, 1957, Alphonse Halimi from France wins on points over 15 rounds against Raton Macias from Mexico in Los Angeles for the undisputed title. So now it's the undisputed title. July the 8th, 1959, Joe Becerra from Mexico wins by KO in the 8th round against Alphonse Halimi in Los Angeles. And then February the 4th, 1960, Joe Becerra wins by KO against Alphonse Halimi from France. Joe Becerra from Mexico, 9th round KO. He wins. Becerra, Los Angeles, that was in. August the 30th, 1960, Joe Becerra from Mexico retires as undefeated champion. So, we go straight up here to the European version of the title. Again, so the European version of the title, October the 25th, 1960, Alphonse Halimi from France wins on points over 15 rounds against Freddie Gilroy from Ireland in Wembley, England. Same year, Ali won the Rome Olympic gold medal. I digress though. So, May the 30th, 1961, Johnny Caldwell from Ireland wins on points over 15 rounds against Alphonse Halimi from, and that was in Wembley, England. And then we got October the 31st, 1961, Johnny Caldwell wins on points over 15 rounds against Alphonse Halimi. And that was in Wembley, England. And then we got the great Ada Joffrey. So, January 18th, 1962, Adair Joffrey from Brazil wins by retirement in the 10th round against Johnny Caldwell in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That was the same year Brazil won the World Football Cup in Chile. But again, I digress. That's for the undisputed title here. Then NBA title, November the 18th, 1960, Adair Joffrey from Brazil wins by KO in the 6th round against Eloy Sanchez from Mexico in Los Angeles for the vacant title. Then March 25th, 1961, Adair Joffrey wins by retirement in the 9th round against Piero Rolo from Italy in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And then August the 19th, 1961, Eddie Joffrey wins in the 7th round against Ramon Arias from Venezuela in Caracas, Venezuela. 7th round, referee stops the match. Then January the 18th, 1962, Eddie Joffrey wins by retirement in the 10th round against Johnny Caldwell from England in Sao Paulo, Brazil for the undisputed title. Then May the 4th, 1962, Eddie Joffrey wins in the 10th round against Herman Marquez from the US in San Francisco. Referee stopping the match in the 10th round for Joffrey. September 11th, 1962, Eddie Joffrey wins by KO in the 6th round against Joe Medal from Mexico in Sao Paulo, Brazil. April the 4th, 1963, Eddie Joffrey wins by KO against Katsutoshi Aoki. The 3rd round KO, that was in Japan, Tokyo, Japan. May the 18th, 1963, Eddie Joffrey wins in the 11th round by retirement against Johnny Jamito from the Philippines. That was in Quezon City, Philippines. Then we got November the 27th, 1964. Eddie Joffrey wins by KO in the 7th round against Bernardo Caraballo in Colombia, in Bogota, Colombia. Then we got my old favourite fighter, May the 18th, 1965. I always have trouble saying his name. Favourite fight, Masahiko fighting Harada. Okay, from Japan, wins on points over 15 rounds against Eddie Joffrey in Nagoya, Japan. Interesting fact: he was the only guy to ever beat Joffrey as a pro. He beat him twice as a pro. Harada. So this classic little era. These fights were classics. Always go back and revisit them. So November 30th, 1965, Masahiko fighting Harada wins on points over 15 rounds against Alan Rudkin from England, Liverpool, England, in Tokyo, Japan, June 1st, 1966. Masahiko fighting Harada wins on points over 15 rounds against Eddie Joffrey. The only man to do it twice. He did it though as well in Tokyo, Japan. Then January the 3rd, 1967, Masahiko fighting Harada wins on points over 15 rounds against Joel Medal in Nagoya, Japan. July the 4th, 1967, Masahiko fighting Harada from Japan wins on points over 15 rounds against Bernardo Caraballo. And that was in Tokyo, Japan, 15 rounds. Again, February 27th, 1968, Lionel Rose, the little Australian Aborigine Lionel Rose, cracking fighters, all these here, wins on points over 15 rounds against Masahiko fighting Harada in Tokyo, Japan. Then February 27th, 1968, oh no, that's the one, so we've gone through that one. July 2nd, 1968, Lionel Rose from Australia wins on points over 15 rounds against Takeo Sakuri from Japan. 15 rounds point decision, Tokyo, Japan. December 6th, 1968, Lionel Rose wins on points over 15 rounds against Jesus Chuchu Castillo from Mexico. 15 rounds point decision again, Los Angeles. Then March the 8th, 1969, Lionel Rose wins on points over 15 rounds against Alan Ruckin in Melbourne, Australia. Then August 22nd, 1969, Ruben Oliveira from Mexico wins by KO in the 5th round against Lionel Rose in Inglewood. December the 12th, 1969, Ruben Oliveira wins In the second round, referee stops the fight against Alan Ruckin in Inglewood. April the 18th, 1970. Ruben Oliveira wins on points over 15 rounds against Jesus Chucho Castillo in Los Angeles. Then October the 16th, 1970. Jesus Chucho Castillo wins in the 14th round. Referee stops the fight against Ruben Oliveira. And that was in Mexico City, Mexico. April the 3rd, 1971. Ruben Oliveira wins on points over 15 rounds against Jesus Chucho Castillo from Mexico in Inglewood. Then October the 25th, 1971. Ruben Oliveira from Mexico wins in the 14th round. Referee stops the match against Katsutoshi Kanazawa from Japan in Nagoya, Japan. December the 14th, 1971. Ruben Oliveira wins in the 11th round, referee stopping the match against Jesus Pimentel from Mexico in Los Angeles. And from there, March the 19th, 1972, Rafael Herrera from Mexico wins by KO in the 8th round against Ruben Oliveira, Mexico City, Mexico. July the 30th, 1972, Enrique Pinda from Panama wins on points over 15 rounds against Rafael Herrera in Panama City, Panama. December 1972, the WBC stripped Pinda for signing to defend against Romeo Anaya, whom they considered to be an unsuitable challenger. So, I'm going to go for the WBA title now. So, January 20th, 1973, Romeo Anaya from Mexico wins by KO in the 3rd round against Enrique Pinda. That's in Panama City, Panama. Then you've got April the 28th, 1973, Romeo Anaya wins on points over 15 rounds against Rogelio Lara from Mexico in Los Angeles. Then you've got August the 18th, 1973, Romeo Anaya wins by KO in the 3rd round against Enrique Pinda, Los Angeles. Then you've got November the 3rd, 1973, Arnold Taylor from South Africa wins by KO in the 14th round against Romeo Anaya in Johannesburg. July the 3rd, 1974, Su Hwan Hong from Korea wins on points over 15 rounds against Arnold Taylor in Durban, South Africa. December 28th, 1974, Su Hwan Hong wins on points over 15 rounds against Fernando Canabella from the Philippines in Seoul, Korea. March the 14th, 1975, Alfonso Zamora from Mexico wins by KO in the 4th round against Su Hwan Hong from Korea in Inglewood. August the 30th, 1975, Alfonso Zamora wins by KO against Phanomjit Sukathai from Thailand. That was in Los Angeles. December the 6th, 1975, Alfonso Zamora wins by KO in the 1st round against Socrates Batoto from Philippines in Mexico City. April the 3rd, 1976, Alfonso Zamora wins by KO in the 2nd round against Eusebio Pedrosa. But it's got from Colombia, I'm sure. Well, I know he's definitely from Panama, but you know, he might have boxed at another time for Colombia, but I'm sure that's a misprint. Eusebio Pedrosa's from Panama. Alfonso Zamora beats him, and this is a different one. I'm not sure, I'll have to check that out. That was in Jerez, so Mexicali that was in, Mexico. Then you've got July the 10th, 1976. Alfonso Zamora wins by KO against Gilberto Eluca from Panama in the third round by KO for Zamora. It's quite a banger for the weight. In Jerez, Mexico. Then you've got October 16th, 1979. Alfonso Zamora wins in the 12th round. Referee stops the match against Su Hwan Hong from Korea in Incheon, Korea. Then you've got November the 19th, 1977. George Lujan from Panama wins by KO in the 10th round against Alfonso Zamora from Mexico. So George Lujan wins by KO in the 10th round against Alfonso Zamora, 10th round in Los Angeles. Then March the 18th, 1978, George Lujan wins the 11th round by retirement against Roberto Rabaldino from Mexico. In San Antonio, Texas, September the 15th, 1978, George Lujan wins on points over 15 rounds against Albert Davila in New Orleans. April the 8th, 1979, George Lujan wins over 15 rounds. Referee stops the match against Cleo Garcia in Las Vegas. October the 6th, 1979, George Lujan let's go again. So April the 8th, 1979, George Lujan. Lost myself, so I want to go back, all the way back, so just in case. So September the 15th, 1978, George Lujan wins on points over 15 rounds against Alberto Davila in New Orleans. Then we got April the 8th, 1979, George Lujan wins in the 15th round. Referee stops the fight. Referee stops the match. 15 rounds against Cleo Garcia in Las Vegas. October the 6th, 1979, George Lujan wins by KO in the 15th round against Roberto Rabaldino. That was in McAllen, Texas, I think, yeah. April the 2nd, 1980, George Lujan wins in the 9th round. Referee stops the match against Suichi Isogami from Japan. Referee stops the match in the 9th for Lujan in Tokyo, Japan. Then, August 29th, 1980, Julian Solis from Puerto Rico wins on points over 15 rounds against George Lujan in Miami, Florida. So, November the 14th, 1980, Jeff Chandler from the US wins in the 14th round against Julian Solis in Miami Beach. January 31st, 1981, Jeff Chandler wins on points over 15 rounds against George Lujan in Philadelphia. April the 5th, 1981, Jeff Chandler draws with Iajiro Murata. 15 rounds draw against Iajiro Murata from Japan in Tokyo, Japan. Then we got June the 25th. June 25th, 1981, Jeff Chandler wins by KO in the 7th round against Julian Solis. That was in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then we got December the 10th, 1981. Jeff Chandler once again beats Iajiro Murata from Japan by stopping him in the 13th round. Referee stops the match in the 13th round for Chandler. It's Murata from Japan, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then we got March 27th, 1982. Jeff Chandler wins in the 6th round. Referee stops the match against Johnny Carter from the US in Philadelphia. October 27th, 1982. Jeff Chandler wins in the 9th round. Referee stops the match against Miguel Irial from Panama, Atlantic City, New Jersey. March the 13th, 1983, Jeff Chandler wins over 15 rounds, points decision against Gabby Gonzalez from the US, Atlantic City, New Jersey. September 11th, 1983, Jeff Chandler wins in the 10th round. Referee stops the fight against Erigiro Murata from Japan. Jeff Chandler wins by 10th round. Referee stopping the match against Erigiro Murata from Japan in Tokyo, Japan. And then December the 17th, 1983, Jeff Chandler wins. Referee stops the match in the 7th round against Oscar Muniz from the US, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then April the 7th, 1984, Richard Sandoval from the US wins. Referee stops the fight in the 15th round against Jeff Chandler, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Then September the 22nd, 1984, Richard Sandoval from the US wins on points over 15 rounds against Edgar Roman from Venezuela in Monte Carlo, Monaco. December the 15th, 1984, Richard Sandoval wins in the 8th round. Referee stops the match against Cardeno Alao from China. I think China there, or Chile, one of the two. Sounds more like Chile, but I'm not too sure. Miami, Florida. So I'm going to get just a couple more in. So, March the 10th, 1986, Gabby Gonzalez wins in the 7th round against Richard Sandoval. That was in Las Vegas. Get that up a bit bigger, yeah. In Las Vegas, yeah, I remember watching this guy, and both the brothers, very good, back in the day. So, June the 4th, 1986, Bernardo Pinango from Venezuela wins on points over 15 rounds against Gabby Gonzalez in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Then October the 4th, 1986, Bernardo Pinango wins in the 10th round, referee stopping the match against Ciro Di Leva from Italy in Turin, Italy. Then November the 22nd, 1986, Bernardo Pinango wins in the 15th round, referee stopping the match against Simon Skozana from South Africa in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then February the 3rd, 1987, Bernardo Pinango from Venezuela wins on points over 15 rounds against Frankie Dart from the US in Los Angeles, California. Then March 29th, 1987, Takuya Takuya Mugaruma from Japan wins by KO in the 5th round against Azil Moran from Panama in Moriguchi, Japan for the vacant title. So, May 24th, 1987, Chang Yong Park from Korea wins in the 11th round. Referee stops the fight against Takuya Mugaruma from Japan in Moriguchi, Japan. So, October the 4th, 1987, the great Wilfredo Vasquez from Puerto Rico, this is senior obviously, wins in the 10th round. Referee stops the match against Chan Yong Park from, that was in Seoul, Korea. Chang Yong Park from Korea also. January 17th, 1988, Wilfredo Vasquez draws over 12 rounds against Takuya Mugaruma from Japan in Osaka, Japan. So, I'm going to finish around about there, yeah. So, Again, another load of brothers, K-Core and KCO Galaxy. This is K-Core. May the 9th, 1988, K-Core Galaxy from Thailand wins on points over 12 rounds against Wilfredo Vasquez from Puerto Rico. That was in Bangkok, Thailand. Yes, I want to go through here. So then we got August 14th, 1988, Sung Il Moon from Korea wins a technical decision over 6 rounds against K-Core Galaxy in Busan, Korea. Then November the 27th, 1988, Sung Il Moon wins by KO against Edgar Moonserrat from Panama in Seoul, Korea. Then 1989, Sung Il Moon wins in the 5th round. Referee stops the fight against Chiaki Kobayashi from Japan. So Sung Il Moon wins in the 5th round. Referee stops the match against Chiaki Kobayashi from Japan in Chijeon, Korea. Then July the 8th, 1989. K-Core Galaxy wins on points over 12 rounds against Sung Il Moon in Bangkok, Thailand. Then October the 18th, 1989, Lucito Espinoza wins in the 1st round. Referee stops the fight against K-Core Galaxy in Bangkok. I'm going to leave it there. Lovely. Bang.